So there are 5 types of cellular adaptations. In this lecture, I am going to speak about atrophy. So in the first slide, you will see the basic definition of atrophy, that is decrease in the size of the cell. And if the size of the cell decreases, the size of the organ will also decrease, or else there is loss of cell substance. Both the size and the number decreases. Atrophy can also be termed as a partial or a complete wasting away of any part of the body. There are various causes of atrophy. Now, atrophy is of 2 types. One is physiological, one is pathological, which I am going to discuss later on. Physiological is natural and pathological is something abnormal. First, we will look upon the causes of atrophy. So, the causes of atrophy may be mutations, there may be poor nutrition, there may be poor circulation, there may be loss of nerve supply, the loss of the hormonal supply, and excess amount of apoptosis of the cell. Apoptosis is the natural death of the cell. If there is natural death occurring, the size of the organ will decrease. And the atrophy may also be caused due to disuse or lack of exercise. During fractures, when any part of your body is fractured, the part which is fractured is immobilized. So it is a disuse of that organ. It is lack of the use of that organ, because there is lack of exercise of that organ. So due to that also there may be atrophy. Now we will see a picture which shows, as I told you, that atrophy is decrease in size. So here this picture shows central skeletal muscle bundle is atrophic. The size of this muscle bundle has decreased. Now this is example of physiological atrophy. Thymus gland, the size of the organ decreases as your age increases. So that is something which occurs normally. So it can be termed as physiological. So that is physiological atrophy. And even uterus following the childbirth, like when the fetus is in the womb, the size of the uterus increases, but as it is delivered, the size of the uterus decreases. So that is also atrophy. The size decreases following the childbirth. Now this picture shows, this one, the picture B is normal brain and the picture B is an atrophic brain. So this will definitely be an example of pathological atrophy. Atrophy results from both. One is decrease in protein synthesis. So if the protein synthesis decreases, that protein is such an important part, constituent of your cell. So that may result in less formation of cell. So that will be a result of atrophy. And increase in protein degradation. If protein degradation start occurring, the cell will be damaged, and so this will lead to atrophy. So that was about atrophy. Now I am going to discuss something which is not in this slide, and yeah, one more example which I am going to show you in a picture here. This I have taken from Google, Wikipedia. This mouse you can see here, the small one is small because of spinal muscular atrophy, and this one is normal. So you can see the decrease in size of the cell or decrease in number leads to decrease in size of the organ, and so the body. And now I will show you, and now I will explain to you some of the atrophies which I expect you to listen. Many of things I have not written up in the slide so that you pay attention to the explanation. Now, glandular atrophy. Adrenal glands, right? So, whenever there is exogenous supply of glucocorticoids, which are made up by the adrenal gland. So, if you are supplying to the body glucocorticoids from an external agent, and even but the adrenal gland doesn't know it, so the adrenal gland will also produce, so there will be a lot of glucocorticoids, so the body will cause the atrophy of the adrenal gland. So this is a pathological atrophy of the gland, which is adrenal gland. And there is one more gland like the testes. Like if exogenous supply of any androgens like androgens or gonadotropins are given exogenously, are supplied exogenously to the body, then there will be uh, and the testes will also secrete, so there will be a high level. So the body can't stop the exogenous supply, so it will cause the atrophy of the organ which is in your body. So we studied two gland atrophies. One was of adrenal gland, and the other one was of testes. So both were due to exogenous supply of the hormones which they were producing. So now they are produced from they are supplied from outside, so they are of no use, and hence they are diminished. And now we will study vaginal atrophy. Now in vaginal atrophy, in post-menopausal women, the walls of the vagina, they become thinner, and that is atropic vaginitis, because they don't need the vagina to implant a embryo. So there is thinning of the line of the vagina. So that is vaginal atrophy. Now there is atrophy of breasts too, because in menopause they don't require these secondary organs. So there is natural atrophy, so that a homeostatic is maintained and there is a normal development, and to maintain the reproductive system which is permanently shut down. So there occurs natural atrophy of vagina and breast. So this was we studied two extra atrophies. One was glandular and one is vaginal. Now there is a pathological atrophy which is muscular atrophy. Now in muscular atrophy, I showed you an example of this was a skeletal muscle bundle, so the cardiac muscle size also decreases, and it leads to like heart diseases, of course. Now all of these were examples of atrophy. Now atrophy can be due to an underlying disease like AIDS, like cancer, like heart congestion, and so on. So atrophy is generally a physiological process where there is reabsorption and breakdown of the tissues, and it may sometimes include apoptosis. Now whenever it occurs as a result of disease or loss of tropic support, now each and every organs require tropic hormones. So whenever those tropic hormones are not given to that organ, or it is it is not functional, so the body will diminish the cells of that organ, and hence there will be an atrophy. So atrophy can be a part of normal body development and homeostasis as well. Thank you. I hope you understood this.